The notion that the ballot is overcrowded, that there isn't enough space for serious candidates, is simply absurd. In 2018, over half the seats up for election in the Arkansas General Assembly were unopposed. In this House, 55 out of 100 representatives did not face any opposition in the general election. On this very committee, 10 of the 20 of you did not have any opposition in the election, and 9 of those had no primary opponent. Now, I'm not trying to pick on anybody. The point is, it's a structural, systemic problem, that there simply is not enough electoral competition in Arkansas. The voters don't even have a choice. Legislators skate into office without opposition in the general election or the primary, paying only lip service to democracy by paying an exorbitant filing fee to one of the 2 major political parties. That's not the way our democracy should be. So we're not suffering from too many choices of the ballot, quite the opposite. A measure designed to further limit competition, as this clearly would, is unnecessary and destructive to healthy democracy in our state. And to those of you who did face no electoral competition at all to be here today and would vote for this bill to restrict competition in the name of overcrowded ballots, I can only say shame, shame on you. You know, another rationalization of this bill, and we just heard it, was that the state is growing. We're now over 3 million people, and so we need a higher standard for political parties. Well, since the 10,000 signature standard was adopted in 2007, the population of Arkansas has grown by about 6%. So if you want to raise the threshold from 10,000 to 10,600, that was being the proper indexing to population growth. That certainly doesn't justify an increase to 270% of the current signature requirement. And for that matter, the requirements of this bill go far beyond 270% increase in the difficulty of getting on the ballot. While raising the signature threshold, it leaves intact the 90-day limit on petitioning time. That would mean that to collect 27,000 signatures, rounding up a little bit, in 90 days it would take 300 signatures per day, 7 days a week for 3 months to get on the ballot. Plus, this bill would also not change the feature of the current law where the original submission must be sufficient. There's no second chances to make up for invalid signatures. That means in order to make sure that we had 300 valid signatures a day, we'd actually have to collect at least 400 a day for 90 days continuously. That's more than our ragtag team of volunteers and local canvassers and out-of-state libertarians could manage in 90 days. We would be forced to bring in a big out-of-state petition canvassing firm. It could very well run into triple or 6 digits in terms of cost. I don't think that's an appropriate way for us to be deciding who should be on the ballot in Arkansas either. You know, the real travesty here is that more than 250,000 Arkansans voted for a Libertarian in the last election. Somehow, though, that's not good enough for the Libertarian Party to be considered a true political party, because the way it's set up right now, it all depends on 3% in one particular race, in this case the gubernatorial race. The Libertarian Party of Arkansas has recently proposed a reform to the Political Party Inclusion Act, which would broaden the definition of a political party. Recognizing the political party is more than just one name at the top of the ticket, our proposal would broaden the definition so that the voters have more choices. When that's the case, the people of Arkansas benefit, even if it makes life a little bit more difficult for incumbents in their entrenched political parties. I'm somewhat incensed by all this, that this bill seems to be breezing through the legislature. It seemed to pass pretty quickly through the Senate, and now it's been placed before this committee. But I do want to say that I hold out hope that in this House, our representatives will do the right thing. I know that you're good people with the best interests of the citizens of Arkansas in your hearts. I'm counting on you to restore my faith in this legislature by rejecting this blatant effort to suppress competition in the political process. And so are the voters of the state. I thank you very much for your time, and I urge you to vote against SB163.